Do you think that gold was sort of beaten out of the American collective conscience? I mean, most of us, at least I can remember, my grandfather always had silver coins, and that was your gift at the holidays, and he felt it was important. And I have friends who all have that similar experience with their grandparents. That generation put value in precious metal. And then after FDR, it seems like it sort of was pushed out. What, any thoughts on
Right,
that?
right. Well, we've discussed this before. I mean, as a citizen, you couldn't hold physical gold. It was banned from 1933 until 72 when Nixon went off the gold standard. And so, of course, you have almost 40 years there where it was not included in the asset allocation mix. Also, there is this sense that, in times of war, when the systems are changing, you want to hold gold. And so people think, oh, well, there's no war here. Things have been very good. And that's true. There's no question about that. But I think people have forgotten the sort of intrinsic value of it as an asset and a currency. And I think the last 6 weeks, and this is one of the reasons we're doing this interview now, is that it's proved itself. It's proved itself. We had the Chinese devaluation in August, the beginning, then we had another one in January, and I think without question the Chinese have been buying quite a bit of gold. They've lived through political change, and anyone in their 60s has lived through the Cultural Revolution, and they're aware that political systems can be antagonistic, and that you don't want to hold all your assets in RMB. So I think in an economy, political environment that you have in China, it makes natural sense. They get it. They're the big buyers in the world, and we haven't had that. So I think people it's not in their consciousness. But in the last 6 weeks, I think, I can't tell you the number of emails and questions and that I've had from people, and they've said, "Wow, look at this! This really would have helped my portfolio." They recognized the gold move from 2000 to 2011. It got into people's consciousness that, hey, this is something. Let me figure out what's going on here. But then it went down for 3 years in a row, and people here, of course, very sensitive to price, just as they should be. And ignored it. But now all of a sudden, they're much more conscious now than I think they've ever been. Even when the price went from 1,000 from '08 up until 2011, it was a gargantuan move. I think most people did not participate in the U.S. And I think that's changed to some degree now. I think it's really on people's radars.